Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Well, today we're going to be talking about how I tore my ACL. Probably one of the most painful things you can do to your knee. So we're just gonna start off. Okay. I think it was my junior year. I went to this trampoline park near my house, and I didn't stretch. I never stretched when I went to like jump or anything. Never stretched because I was always fine. So I just went on a normal day, went on the trampoline, didn't stretch because I never do. And I went to go do a toe touch in midair, and as soon as I was in midair, my knee popped and I fell down immediately, and I cry. No, I don't cry. Scratch that. I laugh when I'm in pain. And so I was just laughing, but I was in so much pain, and it was probably the worst pain I've ever felt. Like, I fell immediately, and I tried getting back up, and I collapsed. And at the time, I didn't know what the heck happened to my knee, but it was so painful, and my knee swelled for about a week after that. And later that day, I went to urgent care, and they took x-rays and stuff like that, but obviously an x-ray cannot see like the muscles and tendons in your knee. So they were like, oh, it's a sprain. And I'm thinking, okay, like I should be fine in a couple weeks. So I went on. A couple weeks later, my knee it wasn't swollen anymore. I iced it and stuff like that, and it like went back to normal. Every day was fine. And then a couple months later it started popping, which I was like, whoa. And it would hurt because I'd have to move it to get it back to pop again where it would feel normal, if that makes sense. I feel like only people that have torn their ACL will know what the popping feels like and how you have to move your leg to get it to actually go back. And so that happened for a couple months, and I would complain to my mom, and I was like, I'm fine, I'll just go on with it, I guess, because I got used to it happening quite frequently. And so then I one day it was really bad, and I went to the emergency room, and they're like, well, it's probably you tore. And I was like, because I kind of had a feeling something was bad, but I wasn't thinking, oh my god, I tore my ACL. That wasn't even in my head. So when they said that they cannot diagnose me because I don't have an MRI done, but they have an idea of what might be the problem, and I was like, great. Like, I didn't want to believe it. I was like, no, this could mean surgery. Like, I don't know. I've never really torn a muscle before, so I'm thinking, like, what am I gonna do? So after that whole thing happened, I went to my primary doctor, and I went and got scheduled for an MRI. Can't even talk right. An MRI, and took it, whatever. And then a couple weeks later, in November of 2016, I found out that I tore my ACL. And mind you, I tore my ACL of March 2015, so it already had been a year. And they said, you tore your ACL, but sometimes when you tear your ACL, you can tear muscles around it, and you tore your meniscus. That's quite frequently common in this type of injury. And so I was like stressed out to the max. I'm like, what am I going to do? I work, I go to school, like I don't know what I'm gonna do. And so then after that whole incident, and I went to go see the doctor, I was like, well, I need to find out what my options are. They said, well, it's not going to get better on your own. Sometimes if it's barely torn, you can rehab it to where it builds up the muscle and gets strong again, or it's completely torn, which mine was, and you just have to get surgery because there's no way of fixing itself. And in this time, I was exercising and doing squats and going to the gym, so I kind of was pre-rehabbing it, which it's not bad for you. They want you to do it, but I mean, you don't want to do it too much where you can make your knee more worse than it already is. And so I would do that, and it would be fine. But then I'd be working, and my knee would pop, and it was just so painful, and I didn't want to stop school. I didn't want to take off work because I just could not afford to do that. So January had came, and I was like, the last time I found out was in November. So from November to January, I was like just fine with it, dealt with it. And then in January or around February, my knee it had popped again, and it was just so painful at work. And I couldn't even limp without it hurting a lot. So I was like, at that moment I realized I need to take care of my health, I need to fix my knee, and I was like, I need to get it done while I'm young. I'm 19 years old, so I have plenty of time to heal, and I might heal faster than I would if I'm getting it done when I'm like 25 or 30. So I called my doctor at my orthopedic, and was like, I want to set up a date. And so I was like, can I get around mid-June, because it's summertime, I'm done with school, and I can take off work. So they were like, well, you have to wait, like, this was in February, March. I called in March, and they said to call back in, I believe April, because they don't have that availability of the months prior or, you know, ahead. So I was like, okay, and then I called back, and I still don't have anything mid-April. So in May, like the second week of May, I called and was like, hey, I need to know now for school and work, and, you know, when can I just set this up? So they said that they had a date already that they picked out, and it would be June 5th. So June 5th, I'm like planning, preparing. I tell my work, you know, I'm gonna have to be taking time off, and they told me it depends on what you do. And like, I work at Lowe's, Lowe's, the home improvement store, where I'm cashiering, I'm a sales floor, I'm lifting boxes, but not to where they're super heavy. So they're like at least 3 months. So that's what I gave my work. I gave them a paper saying, you know, I'm gonna be out, and everything was planned for that. School ended May 26th, so I would be out of school, and later on I planned on filing for disability. So that's a different story. But so I was all settled. I knew I had to get surgery, planned it, and was scheduled for it, and now waiting time was coming. And the last 3 weeks before were just so nerve-wracking, because I never had surgery before. I mean, I've had casts and, you know, for breaking my arm before, but I mean, it was never like anything like that. I've been put to sleep once when I was little, and I remember it, and I didn't like it, so I was kind of scared. But basically, what I want you guys to get out of this video is, if you feel that you've hurt yourself severely after you've done like an activity or a sport, and it's in your knee, or even anywhere, you want to be very aware and get stuff done. If you know, if it keeps, you know, hurting, there's obviously something wrong. So I would tell you guys to don't wait until 2 years after tearing your ACL to get it fixed. I would get it immediately. And one thing my doctor told me was, there's half can, you know, go on with their daily life with a torn ACL and be able to get by, and then there's the other half that they just can't do it, and they have to get surgery immediately. So, you know, I was one of the ones that was able to do my everyday life, which I'm thankful for, because I needed to get by. So that was a good thing in that kind of sense. But I would not wait 2 years to do it, because I could already had the surgery 2 years ago. But I have had it. It's August 10th, and I'm making this video at like 1:20 in the morning. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go make this video. But yeah, my surgery happened almost 2 months ago. I'm definitely gonna be telling you know, the process and stuff like that, but obviously I had to wait, get diagnosed, paperwork approved, set the date, and then had the surgery. So I'll go more in depth how the surgery went, what it feels like afterwards. But like I said again, don't wait 2 years, get it done now. And you know, just be aware. I know I personally wish I would have, you know, knew sooner, but that my doctors from urgent care and, you know, the hospital, you know, they didn't really give me, they said, the first one said, oh, you're fine, you just sprained it. Second one, oh, you might. And so, you know, you just want to get different opinions on it, and definitely get it done while you're young, because when you're young, you're faster to recover. But just always make sure you're on top of stuff. And, you know, I finally got it done, and I'm happy. So, you know, surgery's not all that bad, you know, it actually helps. So thank you for watching this video. If you liked it and thought it was helpful, and if you think, you know, it was a little better than my other ones, then, you know, give it a like and subscribe. I recently dyed my hair, so I'm like, you know, loving that. Off topic. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna make other videos of how the surgery went, my recovery process, physical therapy, which I have not started yet, but I start next Wednesday. I don't know what next Wednesday is, but that's when I have my consultation. So Fiji's the best. I might get hated for drinking Fiji. So yeah, I go next Wednesday. But yeah, I know when people ask me how I tore my ACL, I'm just like, oh, I tore it at a trampoline park doing a toe touch because I thought I was gonna be a cheerleader. And no, that's, yeah. So I know I went on rambling with this video, and you know, it's 1 in the morning. But like I said, give it a thumbs up, and I will definitely be making parts and, you know, more information. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys later.